This is an ancient relic. The dip is not that good on these. Every red board I've ever had, I've always snapped. You guys ready to see this? We have I have bought so many skateboards throughout my time skateboarding, and I think it's time I go through them because I actually still have them in this mess of a closet you're seeing. In there is stuffed a bunch of boards, and we're going to go through them. I'm going to talk about them and tell you which ones are good and which ones sucked, and you're going to see some snapped ones in there too. So I think it's going to be ultimately a very useful video for everybody. But also, there's another reason why I'm making this video. I'm kind of cleaning out my closet for something I'm not going to disclose yet, but maybe in the next video you'll find out why. This is only a start to a long/longer series of videos coming up on this channel. And I'm hyped to make these videos. I'm going to do my best to keep them coming. But let's get through this mess and get my hand in the right place. This has been my closet for what, 17 years? Minus like the few years I went to college. I mean, look at this. I just have stuff everywhere, dude. So out of space in the closet, as you can see, that I'm throwing sweaters on the ground at this point. That will not be the case soon. Big box of lights I don't even use anymore. I used to use them for lighting up shows, but I would not use these lights anymore, but they're still pretty good. And here are all the skateboard decks. Look at all those. And I think a couple of them, I think this one, this is brand new. You didn't notice, I have these on the wall too. Small town, Blue Town. Fargo. We gotta get all these tripods out of the way too. This is so gross. I should have never done this. That's what happens when you clean out your forever closet that you gotta get out of. It's vacuum time. We got out the Dyson. Look at how dirty this all is. The purpose of this video is to show you guys a skateboard, so we'll just get right to those, alright? Alas, we've made it to the freaking skateboards. We can go through them now. Maybe we'll make it through these. Alright, here's a Herbie Haskins board. Never rode it, don't have anything to say about it, but sick graphics, so I've always held on to it. Maybe I'll go newest to oldest, that way it kind of makes more sense, right? As I say that, I found my first board ever on top. Look at this. This was my first board ever. And guess what store I got this from? I'll let the viewers guess where this first board came from. Let's go. Oh my god, my brother gave me a blank deck. I forgot about this. If you're new here, real quick, hit that subscribe button because we have a lot coming up on this channel. There's a lot of good content coming up, and I don't want you to miss it. And if you're new here, my name is Max. I've been skating for probably like 17 years. You enjoy listening to me talk, you enjoy what's up here, do hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. This was a cheap $35, $40 board I bought in California. Just brought trucks and wheels, not a deck, because I didn't have enough room. But this was a cheap ATM board. This board, I thought I would hate it when I bought it. I thought this is gonna suck. It actually is in the same, some board nerd, someone that's really, you know, picky with boards and knows their shit, whatever, is gonna chew me out for this, but it felt similar to a crooked board. I actually kind of enjoyed this board, if I'm being honest. It was only 35 bucks from like a little random local skate shop in California. But I think I would still reset this board up. Maybe that's what we'll do. I'll be like, would I set this up or not? Again, this one is gonna pass as a yes. This is an ATM. No way. Damn, this was the last board I rode before Josiah passed. Got 6 bolts on it right here. This was a stereo board. This board was sick. I bought this because I've always seen the brand Stereo. I'm not gonna lie. This board was a lot flatter than my own liking. I like flat decks. This was like a lot more flat than my own liking. And the board feel overall, like when I popped it, it didn't feel like it had that much pop. So I was like, if I get another stereo, it's just a cruise. I'm never gonna like actually skate a stereo again. That might be my controversial hot take, but it's a no for me on stereo. We have a snapped board here. What is the consensus? What is this? Grimple Sticks. Ariel of Fargo collects old broken boards or old skateboards to make super sick skateboard jewelry out of. I could probably show you like a little thing right here of that. I feel like I can't throw these out because I'm going to give these to her. Would I buy this Grimple Sticks board or whatever again? Probably not. No. Found a new angle. Can keep you guys entertained. Another snapped board right here. This was a Fargo board. I am not going to lie to you. If you look at the bottom of this, I thrashed the shit out of it. And it's funny because I remember a long time ago when I first started skating, when I used to go to Zoomies, a guy there told me, never buy a red board. You're always going to snap them. I don't know why he said that, but every red board I've ever had, I've always snapped. I don't know if it's like a voodoo thing or what, because there's a blue ply and there's like regular maple plies between it. And historically, I've loved Fargo decks. Like, dude, if I see another Fargo deck on the shelf, I'm buying like 3 of them. I love Fargo boards. They're like the perfect shape, in my opinion. They have good concave. There's a reason there's 2 on my wall right now. All right, Black Label. There was this friend of mine, I couldn't find him. I was like, where did you go? And one day I called him and finally got a hold of him after a few years, and he dumped off something that we were missing. But then he also said, hey, dude, I skate if you want this. And the one time I saw him, he gave me this, and it was his 7.5 Black Label. I took it for one day of a ride. The board was too skinny for me, but I didn't like the shape. Like, this truly, if you want something that feels like flat and like weird, get a Black Label. That might be my controversial opinion, but even when you look at the bottom of it, like, that is flat. There's like hardly any dip. Like, come on. Oh, look at this, dude. Another Fargo board. You guys already know the drill. This was their special edition Fargo board. I love this board to death. I was thinking, because I even did like a fun grip thing on it, I was like, dude, once I ride this, I'm not riding any other board ever again. And then they didn't have these anymore. Dude! This is an ancient relic! A Yeah Board Shop deck. These were the GOAT. I went to FA the other day, and I was told they even have boards that are the same shape as Yeah boards there. Man, these were my favorite back then. I was a Yeah Board Shop. I told you guys, I love shop boards. The local shop boards, I have yet to have like an issue with. I love shop boards. It cracked right here down the middle, but I'm so tempted to set it back up. Oh, dude, look at this. Another local board. A Blue Town board. You remember the company I showed you, the board on my wall? Ow, it hit my head. Look at this. This was sick. This is definitely, I would ride again, 10 out of 10. This was another Fargo board. Dude, I've bought so many Fargo boards. Here's the thing. I end up getting new boards a lot because I do this with the tails. Just from skating, and like I end up chipping them up. Oh, snapped board, dude. This was a Fargo board. I think Fargo boards motivate me to skate. Slave board. If I see another slave board on a shelf somewhere, I'm gonna ride it. I love slave boards. The sizes on slave boards always came out wider than the other boards I would buy. And I specifically remember that, and that was why I kept buying them. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the board underneath here was another slave. There were some people giving me shit for this board, too. Some people were like, dude, why would you ever ride that? And Slave, would I ride Slave again? Yeah, I think Slave, I think they have a good shape. They have good width. The pop is really good on Slaves. I definitely remember that part of it. Because look at that, I skated the daylights out of this thing. Oh, Blue Town, man. If Blue Town decided to keep making boards or like came back, I would get their boards again in a heartbeat. This was low key. Next to Fargo boards, this is my second favorite board I've ever had. This exact board right here. This was like a local company in Chicago. I wish they were still around, but I saw one of my buddies riding it one day, and I was like, I have to try it. That board looks so sick. I rode it to death. Look at this. I even snapped it. This is how much I love these. Look, another Blue Town deck. Look at the dip on it. See how good that dip is? And you can tell even on the other side, too. It just had good dip, which means the pop on it was, dude, goated pop on these boards. This was a Send Help board. Okay. The fact that it looks still rideable tells me a lot about it. I probably could not wait to get off this board, tell you the truth. If I leave a board looking like this and it's done, it means I couldn't wait to get off of it. At first when I bought this, I remember this now. I really liked this. I thought this felt great. But I was thinking the whole time it felt like a crooked, only to realize it was like less concave than a crooked, really. It reminded me a lot of kind of between a Black Label and a Creature board. It was like that in between. I don't know how else to describe that, but it like had a flat but dipped feel, but the dips on it weren't that great. They were okay. The deck itself, these decks are heavy. I don't know what they make this shit out of, but like literally a heavy ass deck. A Blue Town, man. Here we go, here we go. Here was the crooked that I was talking about. Look at this. I had the crooked right before I had that other board, and I really like this board. I would definitely ride a crooked again if I found the right 8.5 in a crooked. I've always been a fan of crookeds. The dip is not that good on these, but I did like how it feels on your foot. No matter what shoe you were wearing, This board always felt good across the board because I went through a couple different shoe changes when I had this one. I don't know why I remember these specific details, but I just do. And it felt good. So I was just like, oh, okay. This is one of the first times I tried a welcome board. And I remember I took this thing out because I purposely bought it because I had the like, cool looking tail on it. I was like, screw it, I'll try something different. I'll go off, do something different. I would not get another welcome board ever again, for sure not. It took me like 10 sessions with this thing to do one flat ground tray flip and snap it. Send help again. This was another send help deck. You guys already know the drill. These are heavier boards. This was a Ben Rayborn deck. I forget what brand this is. Maybe that is the brand. But this deck, I don't think I ever got another one after it. This was the one and only. I was just trying something different. Every now and then I went into the skate shop and I was like, give me something different that I wouldn't normally ride in an 8.5. And then whoever skate shop I went to, they would just put it on there and I'd get it. Look at the dip on it. This thing had good ass dip on it. So I think if you're trying to learn like new pop tricks or trying to learn tray flip or scoop tricks, it's a good option. What did I do here? I'm like painting grip tape or something. This was definitely a Black Label board. I don't know why I bought this Black Label, because it was probably the original design, like the don't tread on me thing. I put a little cheese wedge on it. But man, I hated this board. I could not wait to get off. That's probably why I spray painted it. I hated this shit, dude. Some board nerds are going to beat me up and go, bro, how dare you? You don't understand. Like, they changed it to the new Formula 15 style board. What are we cracking with down here? This was an Eric Costin board. OG Costin deck. It had a really long tail. That much I remember. Yeah, look at this. Look, the tail on it's pretty long. Which I did like long tail boards at the time. Still kind of do from time to time, but it's one of those decks, like this was an 8.25, maybe even an 8, and it's heavy. I don't like super heavy boards. No way I just found this. Look at this. This was a Creature. I even drew my own Creature logo and painted my own Creature logo on the front of this. I took this board to camp. I remember it was this board, and then I think there's a P2 board, and I took to camp. I went on a Creature phase for the longest time, and some board nerds are going to look at me and go, dude, Creature's still good. Like, you don't understand. Like, someone's going to say something. But this deck, I love this board, man. Like, once I felt the P2, I was like, I got to keep riding Creatures. Even though this was not a P2, I wanted to get something that was, like, a little bit lighter. And this was lighter because the P2 was heavier. What were we riding here? Oh, dude, this was a Sean Malto board. I just liked the design on this when I was younger. That's why I bought this. This board ended up being too skinny for my feet. The 8.5 ran narrow, which is why it still kind of looks pretty skatable. I was just over it quickly because I was like, I can't land anything on this. It had reminded me of an Enjoy board I once had immediately, but then once it got worn in, it didn't feel anything like an Enjoy. It just felt like a crappy deck. I hate to say that, but it's true. Mike Mo, does that sound right? Yeah, dude, this board, I went through a phase of only getting girl boards. This was, I think, the last one that I got. And I really like this. Girl board, if I saw a good one to this day, I would still try another girl board. I remember using girl boards even in like the skate games or Tony Hawk or whatever game you could select a board. The dips on this are pretty much flat, but I liked the flatter overall feel. The concave was decent. It just was like a neutral board. If you want something that's not too crazy, not too whatever, girl board. Enjoy. Look at this. My neighbor down the street got this exact board, so I had to try it because I saw him doing hard flips. I saw him doing freaking hospital flips. I was like, this board has to do something, right? I loved Enjoy boards. They always ran wide. I have a big foot, and that's what I liked about them. You can even tell right here. Look at this. You can tell it runs wide. I think I would still try another Enjoy today just to see what they're like. Maybe they changed their board formula or some shit by now. But overall, I think any shoe I had on this board, especially, I remember I used to ride a lot of Lakais when I had this, and with a Lakai shoe, man, it just sunk right in. Oh, board feels great. Right here, we have a mystery board. I used to get mystery boards all the time. RIP Mystery, maybe they're still here. Maybe someone can correct me in the comments, but I used to get mystery boards from you-know-where. I would not ride a mystery to this day. It was a flat board. It was really narrow. I used to ride 775s. My foot was a lot smaller. These were my early day. This was an early day selection from that terrible store. Getting down to the wire, folks. Oh, look at this. This was a 0. Right before I had that mystery, I had a 0. Look at the front of this. I think I ripped the grip tape off. I got pissed at this board. It started to suck, and look at this. The top of it became squared off. Funny thing is, I rode this in Crush skate park, like indoors a lot. So I don't know how it even got like this. Maybe I was like, it was really bad at skating, trying kickflips outside one day or something. If I saw another Zero board, would I ride it today? Probably not. This was almost, man. Almost are great. Almost were so good. Especially in my early years when I was just trying to learn to skate. These boards did me well. I love these decks. I beat the crap out of this thing. I even snapped it. Put a snowboarding sticker on it, my dumbass. They were really flat. If you're a fan of like a flatter board, maybe their formula is different now, but at least back then I had this super flat and I was super about that because I was afraid of like crazy dip. The last board, you guys ready? Oh man, this is gonna be the grand reveal. This is the last board. Are you guys ready to see this? We have a mystery board. That's what this was. I love this mystery board. I remember once it snapped, I was so sad. I wanted another mystery board just like it, dude. This was a great board. This was my second board ever, I think, after the Element board that I showed you guys at first. First board ever, second board ever. Look at this. Boom, boom. I skated the daylights out of these. Man. If Mystery came back and had a board like this, I would buy it again just for shits and gigs. I think they had a decent board. The shape was a little bit wonky. I mean, look at this. You can tell. Look at the shape. A little bit of a weird shape on it, but I would try it again for sure. Just to see what's up for shits and gigs. Well, if you guys enjoyed this video, me going through all my old skateboards I bought, if it helped you out figuring out what kind of board you'd like, maybe you had, you know, something to take away from this, whether it was like, you were like, oh, I like the local board, or I like the Enjoy, or I like the Almost, or whatever it is. I hope this is a good video and helpful video to you guys. If it is, do leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you in the next video, which get excited for because got some big stuff coming up. So talk to you soon. Peace.